Alright, multiplying square roots is a lot like multiplying variables. So if I have 3x times 2y, even though they're different variables, I still multiply the 3 times the 2, and I get 6xy. So the x and the y go together. So square roots are going to be very similar to that. Alright, so let's take a look at something. Okay, so you notice everything is inside the square root. So we have square root of 5x squared times the square root of 100x to the 4th. So I'm going to multiply when I can. So I can take 5 times 100, and I'm going to get 500. And you notice it's still inside the square root. Okay. Now we have x to the 2nd times x to the 4th. Now it's a multiplication, so we're going to add the exponents, but it stays inside the square root. By now you probably figure out the pattern. Okay, I'm going to break 500 down, so it's 5 times 100. 5's prime, okay? And then 100 is 10 times 10. Okay, now I don't need to break 10 and 10 down because I have a pair of those. Okay, if you keep breaking them down, you're going to end up with the same answer, but I have a pair of 10s. Okay, so I'm going to bring out a set. Now I don't have a pair of 5s, so I'm going to go ahead and put a 5 there. Okay. Now we have the x to the 6th here. Okay, so if I take the square root of x to the 6th, remember we're going to see how many times 2 will go into the exponent. 2 will go into 6 3 times, so I'm going to bring 3 x's out. So my answer is 10x to the 3rd square root of 5. Alright, now here we have some coefficients, so numbers outside and numbers inside. So we're always going to multiply where they're at. So negative 3 is outside the square root, so I'm going to multiply it times the 4. So I get negative 12. Okay. Now inside I have 6 times 2, which is 12, and then I have x to the 3rd. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and break these up. So we have square root of 12 and the square root of x to the 3rd. Okay. Square root of 12 is 4 times 3, 3 is prime, and I'm going to break 4 down into 2 times 2. So I have a pair of 2's, okay. So I'm going to bring out a 2. Now the 3 does not have a pair here, so it stays inside. Okay. Now I have x to the 3rd. Okay. So how many times will 2 go into 3? Well, it'll go in there 1 time with 1 left over. Okay. And that is your answer. And that is multiplying square roots or multiplying radicals.